Okay, gang, here we are. Now, this is a really interesting thing that we want to discuss for just a second or two before we unleash these guys. And you're going to hear some music that you haven't heard in Clarinda before, and you probably should have heard in Clarinda before. Nobody next to Glenn Miller is closer to our hearts, or should be, than Thomas Francis Dorsey, Jr., otherwise known as Tommy Dorsey, T.D., that sentimental gentleman. His connection with Glenn Miller goes back all the way to the beginning of both of their careers, literally and figuratively. And as many of you know, the Dorsey Brothers Band of 1934, the organizer, manager, whatever you want to call him, of that band was Glenn Miller. So Tommy Dorsey and Glenn Miller, for many reasons, are inseparable. And now, for the first time in Clarinda, we welcome the one and only Tommy Dorsey Orchestra.
Thank you so much, folks. My name is Jeff Bush. This is the one and only Tommy Dorsey Orchestra, and we are so excited to be here. We're excited to be anywhere, but when we're in Clarinda, this is my first time to Clarinda, and I can't say it right because I'm so excited to be surrounded by so many wonderful fans of this great music. I think we have some big band fans in the audience, yeah? Are you ready to show some of the greatest big band music ever? Excellent. Well, we've got it for you. We got things started in the great tradition of Tommy Dorsey by playing our theme song called I'm Getting Sentimental Over You. Something that Tommy recorded all the way back in 1935, and he used it as a signature song when the band would come on the radio and for his stage shows, and it's a tradition that we continue all the way to 2026. And we got things swinging with one of the great anthems of the swing era. It was written by the great Cy Oliver for Tommy Dorsey, recorded back in 1942, and it was called Opus 1. And you heard on the clarinet from Cleveland, Ohio, Mr. John Orsini.
Yeah.
And in particular, you know, we sat on a panel this morning and talked about the great Glenn Miller Orchestra and all of us veterans. I'd like to point out that Mr. Orsini has served time on the Glenn Miller Orchestra under the direction of Peanuts Hucko, and he also was on the Tommy Dorsey Orchestra with Mr. Murray McEachran and Buddy Morrow. So that's John Orsini one more time. And certainly last but not least, I know when you heard Mr. Nick Ruckert back there at the piano. Nick Ruckert back there. Thank you. Well, folks, we have a show today full of music from the different periods of Tommy Dorsey, and we're going to get to his swinging 1950s band, which is really one of my favorites. During that time, Tommy was really trying to sound a lot like the great Count Basie band, and he had an arranger by the name of Ernie Wilkins working for him, and he wrote this swinging original. It saluted Tommy's home address in Greenwich, Connecticut. This is called Flagler Drive. Here we go. Mr. Mark Cohen, tenor saxophone. Nick Rupert, one more time back there tonight. Flagler, John. Thank you. Well, folks, we're going to bring the tempo down with a very beautiful piece of music, and it looks like there's some spots over here, some space for dancing. So if you would like to get up and and dance. This is a wonderful opportunity. This song, it became American popular song. Tommy Dorsey was actually the first to record it in the summer of 1942, but it originally was done by the great American composer Fergie Groffet, and it comes from his Mississippi Suite, in particular the Mardi Gras section of the Mississippi Suite. Originally a vocal, and I'd like to play it for you right now as a trombone solo. A very beautiful song called Daybreak. Here we go. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Such a beautiful song called Fergie Groffet. Thank you. Well, folks, I mentioned that that song was originally a vocal by Tommy Dorsey and the orchestra. And, you know, Tommy Dorsey, probably more so than any other band leader than I can think of, was responsible for creating the careers of so many singing stars. You know, early in his days, in the late 30s, he had Jack Leonard and Edith Wright on the band. And later on, he had the great Dick Haymes with the band and the great vocal group, the Pied Pipers. And even a few years later, a lesser-known but equally great vocalist named Stuart Foster. And for 2 great years, he even had that one fellow with the blue eyes that you might be familiar with. Can anybody help me with that name? Sinatra. The greatest male singer of all time, Frank Sinatra, spent 2 memorable years with Tommy Dorsey and the band from 1940 to 42. And we had a brand new arrangement of something that Mr. Sinatra and the Pied Pipers did with the orchestra. It's kind of the intersection of the Count Basie Band and the Tommy Dorsey Band. A great American popular song that we hope you'll enjoy and recognize. Oh, look at me now. Here we go. I'm not the guy who cared about love, and I'm not the guy who cared about fortunes and such. No, I never cared much. Oh, look at me now. I never knew the technique of kissing, and I never knew the thrill I could get from your touch. No, I never knew much. Oh, look at me now. New man, better than Casanova at his best. With a new heart and a brand new scar, I'm so proud I busted my bed. Just one of those things, oh, look at me now. Tommy Dorsey's big hits. And, you know, many band leaders in the 1930s would take European classical music and the themes of that music and turn them into swing era hits. And Tommy Dorsey was no different. He took music written by Rimsky-Korsakov. Sorry, that's a lot for me to say. And if you don't know who Rimsky-Korsakov was, that's okay. We have no idea either. But that's a whole different story. But we do know this next one. That's originally recorded, one of Tommy's big hits. And we hope you enjoy and recognize Song of India. You saw two of our sections of our orchestra featured prominently, and I'd like to introduce them to you right now so you can meet all of these wonderful musicians. First, you saw our saxophone section stand up and play the original solely, and reading from your right to left on the baritone saxophone, that's Allison Young. Tenor saxophone, Lieutenant Jerkovic. You've met him earlier, he's our wonderful section leading the saxophones from Cleveland, Ohio, Mr. John Orsini. Alto saxophone, Lucas Deal. And last but certainly not least, tenor saxophone, Mr. Mark Cohen, our saxophone. Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, you saw and heard our trumpet section stand up, and they were playing the original Bunny Berrigan trumpet solo from the original record. They played it in 4-part harmony, and I think they did a great job. It's actually quite challenging. So yeah, you can applaud. But don't applaud too much because they'll ask for a raise, and we can't have any of that. So, also reading from your right to left, that was one of the better jokes. Folks, we'll see Jesse McBee at the trumpet. Carl Eichen at the trumpet. Harry Dean, trumpet. And our first trumpet, also from Cleveland, Ohio, Mr. Scott McKee. Our trumpet section. Thank you, folks. Well, after Tommy Dorsey passed away in 1956, this orchestra was led by a wonderful trombonist by the name of Warren Covington. And Warren Covington was a band leader in his own right, and when he took over the band, in roughly 1957, they started recording, and in 1958, they had a big hit record. And this hit record came during a time when the cha-cha-cha dance craze was going across the United States. And I never knew why they called it a cha-cha-cha, because I always thought you needed 2 legs to do the cha-cha, but that's a whole different thing. So the dance floor is open if you want to do the cha-cha-cha or a cha-cha, or if you want to do the cha, you can figure that out on your own. But this is, as originally recorded, Warren Covington in the band with this #1 hit. You're going to hear from a couple of our soloists, and I'm going to get into the act and do my best, or maybe worse, Ricky Ricardo impersonation on this next one. This is called the T for 2, cha-cha-cha.
Oh, yeah.
That's the T for two. That's Allison Young with the baritone saxophone. Dan David with the trombone. Yeah. And T for two. Thank you, folks. Well, we moved back just a few years, and this comes from a time when the rhythm and blues kind of music was getting very popular in America, and Tommy Dorsey had a marvelous trumpet player as a member of his orchestra in the mid-40s throughout the 50s, and that gentleman's name was Charlie Shakers, and he was truly a jazz star in his own right and a miraculous trumpet player. But Charlie Shakers was also a great rhythm and blues singer, and Tommy featured his singing prominently on both records and television, and we'd like to recall something that Tommy and Charlie and the band recorded back in 1950. It takes us south of the Mason-Dixon to Birmingham, Alabama. Let's take a trip there right now, folks, with the Birmingham Bounce. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. There's a place we all love called Birmingham. Everybody starts jumping their feet when the drums start playing that solid beat. Hey, everybody's dancing, jumping too when the music starts rocking. Nobody's through. A funny little rhythm with us all the time. It's the boogie woogie jumping called Birmingham Bounce. Sound like a horn with a valve in the middle. Sound like the beat of the big bass fiddle. Makes no difference about the tone. We all love to dance to the slide trombone. Down the way, if you want to get time, just start dancing, you'll soon feel fine. All it takes, make up your mind. We all get together and have a good time. Thank you, folks. Well, we changed the pace quite drastically right now with a really marvelous piece of music, a masterpiece of an arrangement. And I know you big band fans out there, and particularly all you historians, know that the great Bill Finnegan was one of the arrangers for the great Glenn Miller Orchestra, but he also was on the arranging staff for Tommy Dorsey's orchestra and produced just some wonderful music, great scores for both bands. And this is one that was lost for many years, and we've had it recreated from the original recording. Tommy and the band did this back in 1949. The piece itself is composed by George Gershwin, and the lyric was by DuBose Hayward, and it comes from the operetta Porgy and Bess. And this masterpiece by Mr. Finnegan, it starts off kind of in a symphonic type of setting, and then it goes into some beautiful melodic trombone that Tommy played and some wonderful swing. Appropriated to me for this time of year. This is called Summertime. Here we go. something called Summertime. Thank you, folks. Well, this next piece of music that we have, it kind of ties in to the great Glenn Miller. The song has been around long before Glenn Miller kind of got involved with it, and it was a staple of the great Louis Armstrong's repertoire, among many other great jazz musicians. But for a recording date that involved, let's see, Benny Goodman and the great Jack T. Gardner, who was one of my heroes, Glenn Miller kind of fashioned together the verse of the song. So the main part of the song was always in existence, and Glenn fashioned the verse to this song for Mr. T. Gardner. And I thought it would be apropos that we kind of program this today, since we're the festival honoring Glenn. And it's a song that I certainly love to play, and certainly one that's been associated with lots of trombone players. So we hope you enjoy our version of the Basin Street Blues. The band's there to meet us. Oh, lots of friends to greet us. You'll see the place where the people meet. Hang on, folks, we're going to Basin Street. Basin Street is the street where all good friends always meet. Down in old New Orleans, the land of dreams. You never know how nice it seems, or just quite what it really means. Glad to be, yes sirree, where my welcome's free. And I can lose my bass blues. I'm gonna play some trombone for you right now, folks. The Tommy Dorsey Orchestra. Well, ain't you glad you came with me along the Mississippi? You saw a place where the people meet. Now I'm going to play a trombone cadenza for a special added treat. I gotta remember my Geritol for the next time I try. I'd like to introduce the trombone section of our orchestra, because the trombone section is the best section out of any orchestra, I like to think. So, you heard him playing first trombone earlier. That's Mr. Dan Gable. Mr. Chris Leach, trombone. And Mr. Steve Wilson, trombone. And folks, I'd also like to introduce our wonderful rhythm section right now. You've met some of them, and we're going to introduce them right now. Mr. Nick Ruckert back there at the piano. And Mr. Steve Charleston at the bass. And last but not least, we have someone that I know you're familiar with. He's done some great presentations for you. Been with the Glenn Miller Orchestra, with Glenn Miller Productions for some time. And this song is appropriate because it was a drum feature that Tommy Dorsey recorded back in 1940. And the drum chair, I'm sure you historians and big band fans are aware, the drum chair of the Tommy Dorsey Orchestra has been held by some of the greatest drummers of all time. The great Davy Tuff was in the band, Louis Bellson was in the band in the 50s, Gene Krupa was in the band in the 40s, and of course the great Buddy Rich was in the band. So that's quite a history of drums. And on this next 1940 recording, we're going to feature the one and only Mr. Greg Parnell, carrying on the great drum tradition of the Tommy Dorsey Orchestra. And this one is kind of one of the big killer dillers, so they might say it in the big band era. This is called Quiet Please. That's originally recorded by Tommy. And Mr. Greg Parnell at the drums. Quiet, please. Thank you, folks. Well, on all of our shows, we like to salute some of the other great artists that were around during the big band days. And this next group, they weren't a band per se, but they did play instruments, but they were great singers, and truly one of my all-time favorite acts in all of show business. And we'd like to salute the great Mills Brothers. I hope we have some Mills Brothers fans. This is one of my very favorite songs of all time, and we have it as they originally did it. This is something that we heard them do on the great Dean Martin show, and we hope you enjoy our version of Paper Doll. Here's the Mills Brothers. Cannot steal. And then those flirty, flirty guys with their flirty, flirty eyes will have to flirt with dollies that are real. When I come home at night, she'll be waiting. Oh, that's not very nice. She'll be the truest doll in all this world. I'd rather have a paper doll to call my own than have a fickle-minded real-life gal. Okay, I guess we'll keep going. Oh, well, I guess I've had $1 million or more. And I guess I've played the doll game o'er and o'er. I just quarreled with Sue, and that's why I'm blue. She's gone away and left me like all dolls do. Well, I tell you folks, it's tough to be alone. And it's tough to love a doll that's not your own. I'm through with all of them. I'll never fall again. So fellas, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna buy a paper doll that I can call my own. A doll that other fellows cannot steal. And then those flirty, flirty guys with their flirty, flirty eyes will have to flirt with dollies that are real. When I come home at night, you know she'll be awaiting. She'll be the truest doll in all this world. I'd rather have a paper doll to call my own than have a fickle-minded real life. I think I'll save a nickel and just cut the jive. Just give me a paper doll instead of a real life gal. Paper doll, thank you. And you know, every once in a while my wife comes to our gigs or concerts, and she doesn't really like it when I sing that song because she always asks, "Are you talking about me?" So my wife Nicole, who's over in Pittsburgh, I'm not talking about you. Anyway, we get right back to the band, and this one comes from late 1930s and the early 40s, and this is during right around the time when Tommy Dorsey hired the great Cy Oliver away from the Jimmy Lunceford band. Tommy's band had kind of stagnated a little bit in the 30s. It was starting to have a little bit too much of a Dixieland sound, so he wanted some of that great swing flavor, so he hired Cy from Jimmy Lunceford, and Cy brought a good portion of this arrangement. He customized it for Tommy, but as Tommy originally recorded, we present to you right now a piece of music that's written by the great Stephen Foster. This is called Swanee River. the Swanee River. Mark Cohen, tenor saxophone. Nick Rupert, piano. Jesse McBee, trumpet. Thank you. Thank you. Well, we do have this one next. That's what I thought. This also is, that last one was kind of 19th century Americana, as is this next one. And this was another one that was lost in the Dorsey archives for many years, and we've had it brought back to life. I like to program this around Halloween because I think of skeletons dancing whenever I think of this one. But it comes from the song, the foot bones connected to the ankle bone and the knee bone and the neck bone and all that. I really don't know what I'm talking about, but you'll know the melody of this one. Tommy Dorsey recorded this as kind of like a rhythm and blues style, and we hope you enjoy it as he originally did back in the late 1940s. This is called Dry Bones. Here we go. Tommy Dorsey, Dry Bones. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. You know, during our panel discussion this morning, we had some great questions posed to us, and one of the questions was, what are the bands doing that's new, that's different? And someone mentioned Taylor Swift. I'd like to tell you that we have a Taylor Swift arrangement for you right now, but we don't, because I would be lying. But we do have a brand new arrangement, and one of the things, part of my job here as music director of this great orchestra is to find some music that Tommy Dorsey may have chosen to record or perform should his career went past 1956. And this next song, I think, fits the bill. The original recording that I can think of was done by the great Vaughn Monroe, but the big hit on this one came in the late 50s by a vocal group called the Chordettes. And we've recently just recorded this song, as well as a complete brand new album of songs, and it's the first time that the Tommy Dorsey Orchestra has been in the studio to record in about 45 years. And yes, we'll take that applause. Yeah. Thank you. We'll also gladly accept your patronage as soon as that CD is available. We're proud to say it's going to come out on the Hindsight Records label, and it's going to be available for sale on their website, and of course on their downloading sites, and we'll have physical copies, of course, on our live Tommy Dorsey Orchestra performances. And you know, I used to tell a joke that I only have like 6,373 CDs left in my basement. What was that joke? That was the joke I used to tell. I'm recycling old material, and that never really goes well. But I really will have that many CDs for you to sell, so please come and see us when we're on the road. We'll have our wonderful new recording. But this song was on it. The Chordettes did it in the late 1950s. We hope you enjoy our brand new arrangement of Mr. Sandman. Here we go. Bring me a dream, make her complexion like peaches and cream. Give her two lips like roses and clover, and tell me that my lonesome nights are over, Sandman. I'm so alone, ain't got nobody except this old trombone. Please turn on your magic beam, Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Here we go. Ain't got nobody to call my own. Please turn on your magic beam. Hey, Sandman, you're a grand man. Sandman, bring me a dream. That's Mr. Sandman. Thank you, folks. Well, thank you, folks. That's a lot of fun for us to present our new material, but I think right now we should get to some of the great Tommy Dorsey classics that you're all waiting for. Is that going to be okay right now? I'm glad you said yes, because we were doing it anyway. Now, this one comes, let's see, about 1938, and I used to love when the great Buddy Morrow, one of the longtime leaders of this great orchestra, would introduce this next song. It was, the arrangement was by a trombonist named Red Bone, but it emulated the great Pinetop Smith, who was the composer here, and this is one of Tommy's big hits, as originally recorded. Here's Tommy Dorsey's Boogie Woogie. Wow. And when we were doing our sound check and rehearsal, the band was really very energized about this next song. And they said, you know, we want to sing. We want to come to Clorinda and we want to sing on this next song. And I said, okay, we'll make that happen. And ladies and gentlemen, if you believe anything that I'm telling you right now, I'm actually making them sing. So don't believe any of that, but they're going to do a great job. This is one of Tommy's big hits. And if you know the band folk on this one, sing right along. It was originally written by the great Irving Berlin, and it goes to all you wonderful ladies who have the same first name. Here's Marie. Marie, you'll soon be waking to find our hearts are aching and tears will fall as you recall the moon in all its splendor. Your kiss so very tender. The words, will you surrender to me, Marie? That's Marie. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's our theme song, and it means it's time for us to sign off. We've had a wonderful time spending this time with you. We'll be back in just a little while. But for right now, on behalf of all the members of the one and only Tommy Dorsey Orchestra, this is Jeff Bush wishing you a pleasant rest of your evening here in Clorinda. Thanks so much, folks. This is the one and only Tommy Dorsey Orchestra. Thank you. Would you like to hear one more song? I'm glad you said yes. No, but before we go, we'd like to let you know that we here at the Tommy Dorsey Orchestra, we're on social media. We do Facebook and we do Instagram, and there's probably some other stuff out there that I don't know what it is that we probably do. So if you're on Facebook and Instagram, please friend us and like us, and you'll see where we're performing next. If you've taken any pictures or videos, please feel free to post them, because we're very vain. We want to know what we look like on the bandstand in our gig clubs. So. But no, and there'll be some information on our wonderful new recording that we're so very proud of coming down on Hindsight Records, and this next arrangement is also on the record. But to give you a little information on this, Tommy Dorsey always had a small band within his band, and they were called the Clam Bake Seven. And he liked to play traditional jazz, Dixieland music. So what we've done is come up with a big band arrangement that features all the band, but our Clam Bake Seven Dixieland group as well. And we're going to send you out of here with your toes a-tapping to a tune that we all know that you know, our brand new version of When the Saints Go Marching In. Here we go.
We're going to take a break for dinner outside and come back for the Battle of the Bands. See you then.